Allie was my coworker in Mankato. I met her after my friend dragged me down to Mankato. I was, call it working from home, which is really just code for living at my mom's house. He's like, hey, move down to Mankato, and I did, working my ass off, and met Allie there. And from there, I had a huge crush, and we went from there.
Well, we met while we were working at Summit during turn probably. So we were fixing up units together, and I just remember him saying he always sets the thermostat to 69 because it's the perfect temperature and it's also a funny number, so that's probably my first memory.
What was your first impression of Allie?
That she, well, obviously very cute, and she was also super handy, and because we were doing maintenance and stuff like that. She's always running around and always really hard worker, like really hard worker. I'm also a really hard worker, so I appreciated that about her a lot.
Our first date, I believe it was a Sunday morning, and we went to Boulder Tap House to watch a Vikings game and obviously eat some bar food. And yeah, it was great.
Tell me one of your favorite things about Allie.
We're very different. She's very organized.
I like to organize things. I don't think that's a secret or hidden.
And it gives me a sense of structure. I do love that she provides me with structure in my life, whether it be from kind of when we're waking up, or the division of domestic labor, or planning things like, you know, a wedding. She's incredibly helpful in all the aspects of my life, and I hope I am in hers as well.
In what ways are you and Allie different?
Okay, when I say she's an organizer, I mean I will put something down and then it will be missing, and I will know, oh shit, if I put it down somewhere, she squirreled it away somewhere. So then I'll look around for it, and then I'll finally have to capitulate and ask her where it is, which just today we were working on some outlets. I know we have extra outlets in the house, and not in any of the usual places. They were by the dog food. Allie squirreled them away there.
Cute story about Michael, and one that I think really shows the piece of Mike's character that has been present from the very beginning. Oh, here it comes. When Michael was in grade school, justice and fairness has always been a thing for Mike, along with bad rules and poorly enforced rules, as I think will surprise no one. And a friend of his got into some trouble on the playground, but it wasn't his friend's fault. It was another kid's fault. However, the teacher punished Mike's friend, and the punishment was sitting for more than one recess on the wall by the recess area, and partially in solidarity, because he felt his friend was unjustly punished, and partially out of silent protest, this little 2nd to 4th grader sat on the wall for every single detention that this child had to serve. And I think that really shows who Michael is at his core. He is loyal. He craves fairness and justice, and he will put himself in front of those things to make sure that people feel they have been either seen or treated fairly. So, proud mom.
Tell me one of your favorite things about Mike.
Oh gosh, so many things to choose from. I really like how much he cares for others. It might come out in a strange way, but he really believes all people deserve to have their needs met and things like that. I think it's really nice to believe things like that. I also like how calm he is. He does have his own version of anxiety, but he balanced me out really well.
In what ways are you and Mike alike?
I think we have a lot of the same values, like how we think the world ought to work if we had our way, you know, kind of thing. I think we're both hard workers, and I think we have a similar sense of humor.
Tell me about the proposal.
It's not super organized. I don't know how to throw a wedding, so that's why we're having, like, you know, a party at the house that we bought. We both kind of knew we wanted to get married. We're like, let's be fiancés. We were both just like, yeah, let's be fiancés. And that was kind of the proposal. We're at brunch. And so we decided to get married.
We were just at brunch again, like our first date, except we were in Minneapolis this time. Red Cow, I want to say. But we were just kind of talking about where we were at on the house and everything, because really, we knew we wanted to get married for a while. We were just kind of waiting for the house to be good enough to show people, so we were kind of talking about the house and kind of deciding that it was almost ready or would be ready next year, and just we're kind of like, okay, I think we want to get married next year then. Let's set a date.
What are your hopes for the wedding day?
I hope it doesn't rain.
Oh geez, is it too much to hope it won't rain?
And also, if it does rain, I know for a fact, Grammy, my grandmother, will say, oh, rain on your wedding day. You know what that means, right? And I know what it means, and I've warned Allie, because I know she's gonna say it. She's gonna say, oh, that means you're very fertile. Mark my words, I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. I already told Allie, I was like, it's raining, and she says it, you owe me $100.
Is there any hopes or wishes that you have for Allie and Mike?
They have kids.
I don't really have any expectations. It's not super high maintenance, you know? Just want people to come over, hang out, and have a good time, you know? That was kind of the whole point all along.
I'm just hoping it'll be chill and I don't want to say drama free, but like if whatever drama there is like fun drama, and then everyone has a great time.
Do you have a honeymoon plan?
When we went to the eclipse earlier this year, we thought it was something we'd really want to do again, and I believe the next one is like in the Mediterranean region, so we're maybe thinking about that in a few years.
Who wakes up first on a non-work day?
If it's summertime, it's usually Allie. If it's wintertime, it's usually Allie that wakes up first. So, and it's usually Allie. She's pretty steady 6 a.m. wake up. I wake up at 6 a lot as well, and you know, sometimes 4 if it's snowing.
Who falls asleep first?
Also Allie.
Who falls asleep first?
Me. Although he is a great napper, so I could never fall asleep in the middle of the afternoon.
What would you do all day if you didn't have to work?
Sit in front of the TV, play video games, watch football, do all that. But often I'll sit down on the couch and I'll hear a tape measure behind me lurking for projects that she wants me to do. It's like, yeah, when she gets the tape measure out, I know I'm going to be doing a few things, so there's always that.
I like to work on my house and yard, and like if I truly didn't have to work, I would probably volunteer or something. I would need something to do all day besides be here. I would go crazy, even though I love it here.
But yeah, I don't know. We're both kind of homebodies, you know, like to go to the dog park or walk the dog, go get dinner somewhere.
Who would play Mike in a movie about your lives together?
Keanu Reeves.
What kind of animal would you most like to be?
I think I'd want to be some kind of cat. Maybe a house cat, but maybe a wild cat. Maybe a barn cat. A cat.
Probably like a big cat, maybe a little cat, or some sort of bird of prey. I think a bird of prey would be pretty cool.
Which superpower would you most like to have?
I think it's hard to beat flight. Maybe, no, flight.
What would you do if you had one round trip in a time machine?
There's a few different things I'd like to do. Go back and watch sports games, the 80s and 90s, and see athletes from those times again. Research those games beforehand, bet on them, bring a bunch of money back, take a time travel trip back to the Metrodome, piss in the troughs again. Great times. Nothing too high impacts, nothing like going back and like killing baby Hitler or whatever people talk about.
I don't think I'd want to go to the future. Maybe like I'll say the 70s, because I think I'm hippie spirit, but hopefully I wouldn't get on a bus with a cult leader or serial killer.
If a chicken walked in wearing a top hat, what would it say and why would it be here?
Well, first of all, the cats would fuck it up. Tiva and Maui are killers. I'm just trying to figure out why some whimsical chicken would be arriving at my doorstep. It would probably be like propositioning some zany adventure for some task that it needed opposable digits to complete but does not have.
Excuse me, madam and good sir, I'm looking for the road. Would you happen to know where the road is so I can cross it? I'm not sure why I'm crossing it, but I need to cross the road. Can you point me to the road, please? Thank you.
Tell me 5 ways to use a book.
Level a table, fire starter, weapon, weapon thrown. I mean, what can you use paper for? Anything. Knowledge, you could read it.
Why's the first thing I thought of burn it? You can read it, that counts as a way to use it. You can use it to support something or make something taller. You could burn it. You could hollow it out and put something inside of it. A paperweight, that's different. There you go.
What do you think about garden gnomes?
I don't feel one way or another about them specifically. They're deep in lore in many different cultures, mine not being one of them necessarily. They don't scare me. I have an affinity towards them, I guess, because I can use them to scare people. I use them for evil.
I don't want to own any, but I don't care if other people do.
If you could only have a dog or a cat, which would you choose?
In this gambit, I would choose neither. Because if you choose one or the other, you're an asshole. And if you choose one or the other, you don't deserve the love of the pets. No, dude, like you either like animals or you're a fucking weirdo.
I like having both. Don't make me choose. I can't pick. You're making me choose between my children and I can't.
What do you think life will be like for you and Allie in 20 years?
There won't be iPhone 13s, and who knows what you're going to be playing this on. So
Mortgage will be almost paid off. The house will be worth $7.4 million. Barron Trump will be president probably. I'll have a 7 golf handicap. They'll probably start sending me like AARP mail. The Great Water Wars will have started. The battle for fresh water of the Great Lakes.
Honestly, I just want more of the same. Like, if it's like this for the rest of our lives, I'll be happy. I know there's ups and downs and whatever, but I've always just wanted our house and our pets, and that's all I really want.
One of my favorite memories with Allie is when we had an early morning shift together. She was driving and had breakfast on the go. Again, early morning breakfast on the go. Set the scene. Warm toast, peanut butter, honey. We walk out to the car. Do you want me to drive, Allie? No, I got it. I think it's literally like her toast is on like a napkin or like a flimsy paper plate, and we don't get halfway down the road before we have to switch because honey and peanut butter are everywhere.
one of my favorite stories about Mikey is I was working in England as an occupational therapist. Tippy and your dad brought the whole family over. Mikey, you were 6-ish, and we went to see some of the sites, and one of them was Westminster Abbey. and you were very impressed by the votive lights and wondered what the candles were about. They were lit. And I explained to you that when people have a loved one that passed away, they'll light a candle and pray for them. And you said, well, could you light a votive? And I said, well, do you know somebody? Do you have a prayer for somebody? And he said, yeah, my grandma Dorothy. You put your little coin in the coin box and lit the candle, and you said, dear Grandma Dorothy, your lips were blue, your legs were purple, it was time to die. And we were laughing about your little prayer. But apparently she was passing away and the family was gathering around, and you probably overheard them saying, you know, it was time for her to pass on. So yeah, that was your prayer.
The past couple of years, Mike has these conferences that he has to go to for work at the end of February. But last year he went to Texas. And if you remember last year in Texas in February, they were having ice storms or something. Anywho, Mike was supposed to be there for 3 days and ended up being there for 6. So yeah, that sucked, but you know, he expensed the whole thing and got to ride back first class. So who's laughing now?
Funny story about Mike. On my 21st birthday, we were at the Gay 90s, and he took his shirt off on like the stage that we were dancing on, and my dad followed his actions and did the same.
When Allie was in middle school, and the school was having an awards day, and so everybody that had won any kind of award throughout the year was recognized. But when it came to Allie, her list of awards went on and on and on. The announcer had even made a comment about the incredible list of accomplishments that Allie had, and just goes to show who Allie is as a person. And she is not afraid to try new things, and she loves to learn new things, and she gives everything her all. She's just always been a go-getter.
Oh my god, that is not what happened.
Tried to push him off the roof.
That's not.
She knew at an early age that they were delinquents.
Oh my god.
She tried to
I
kill
was a
them.
delinquent.
Asked me.
Just do it.
And they wanted
Honey,
to
they
go
were
on the roof.
minors. You shouldn't.
I was also a minor. The blind leading the
I
blind.
love it. You will dance with me like this. That's my girl. Oh my god, I love you so much.
I don't like stepping.
I mean, I thought it was really funny when she flooded the apartment, because it was when I was living at Schmidt, and she clogged the toilet and didn't know how to get it unclogged, and didn't want to tell me right away, and so then there was a lot of water everywhere, and I had to call a guy that I worked with because we lived at Schmidt, and yeah, that was funny. She didn't think that was funny.
One time we went out to eat, and after we were leaving, we should all go get ice cream, right? We're sitting outside, we're all chit-chatting, talking, whatnot, you know. Mike reaches into his pocket, pulls out a handful of tater tots. He just, I guess, wanted to keep them from, like, the restaurant, and didn't want to get a bag for him. Yeah, so he put them in his pocket.
I have a lot of memories with Allie, and I've made memories with Mike, but one of my favorite memories with Allie is the time that we were driving in Sioux Falls and we passed by Barnes & Noble, and Allie started bawling because she just loved Barnes & Noble so much, and it just makes me giggle to this day thinking about it, because it's just an Allie thing to do.
One year we were at our family reunion at the lodge, and one of my other sisters, Tessa, had I was wearing these sweatpants, and she was like, "Are those my sweatpants?" And I was like, "No, I bought these because I had borrowed yours and wore them, and I liked them so much, I bought my own." And Allie was like, "Oh my gosh, they should let you do that at stores before you buy them." And I go, "They do let you do that in dressing rooms, Al, that's a thing."
Allie was supposed to be picking Jay and I up from the airport, but we didn't clarify which terminal we were going to be at, and Allie was having some issue with her phone. It was quite a long ordeal of trying to figure out where she was because we couldn't call her because she didn't have her phone. And so we were calling Mike, who was at home, and trying to figure out where Allie was. And she had gone home and was very upset that she couldn't find us, and things just weren't going the way that she wanted them to. And so she was upset and kind of stormed out of the house and came back to the correct terminal and picked us up, and was just pretty upset about it. And a while later, I got a text message from Mike that said that Stormy says she's sorry. Stormy's feeling better now. And I just thought that was so funny that he referred to her as Stormy when she was having a little bit of a hissy fit, and things weren't going quite her way. He just took it with a grain of salt and loved her anyway. And I knew then that he is the one to take care of my baby girl for the rest of her life.
Something that I like about Allie is that she just brings an air of sweetness and inclusion and greater worldview, and at the same time is wholeheartedly a badass. So like, she's perfect. Love her.
Hi, Mikey. There's a lot of good things about you, but one that really stands out is how involved you get in things and how spontaneous you are. So people really like that about you, Mike, that you get involved and you're willing to participate, and you're a good guy and a fun guy to have around. That's why you're asked to do things.
What is your favorite thing about Allie?
She is silly and she's nice and she has a lot of pets, and same with Mike.
You're so non-judgmental and caring. You know, my favorite time of year is coming up there for Pride Weekend, and I love that I can go with you guys and do whatever I want, do the silliest things, look the silliest, and you guys don't care. You guys are just amazing people, and I love you.
Mikey, you are insightful, you have common sense, you are artistic, you're a fixer-upper handyman, you have a real clean, clever sense of humor, you're a good listener, and I cherish our talk on the porch on the fishing trip on Lac Seul.
The thing that I think is most unique about Mike and Allie is that you cannot talk them into considering something that doesn't feel genuinely right for them. And that is something that's going to serve both of them really well.
What is unique about Allie and Mike?
Their chill demeanor.
Something unique about them is that they are both like themselves and very individual, but when they're together they just like complement each other so well that I think they're gonna be together forever.
They are both so different, like they have completely different interests and like thrive doing different things, but they are both like really compatible, like they're good together too, so it's kind of cool.
First of all, congratulations, happy wedding day. I'm so excited for you guys, and selfishly pretty excited to be gaining a new sister, and a pretty badass one at that. But, you know, one of the things I love most about you guys is both as individuals and as a team, you show up as yourselves, and it's clear that yourselves are exactly what you guys are attracted to. You're on the same wavelength no matter what you guys do, and watching you guys interact is really just a cool thing to observe, because it's so clear how much you guys love each other and how much you're meant to be together. So I just really couldn't be more excited to see all the amazing things you do, and continue to grow as individuals, but both as the team you are. So congratulations. I'm so excited for you guys.
Allie and Mike's love is incredibly unique because it is so strong. when they first started dating, before I had ever even met Mike, I questioned Allie about him and his intentions, and she told me to trust her. And she's never been more right. Mike is definitely perfect for Allie in every way that I could imagine. How grateful I am that their love was so strong from the beginning.
One of my absolute favorite things about Allie is her sense of adventure and want for experience, whether it be camping or trying a new activity or flying to a different state. Allie is just always down, and I love that about her because we get to experience a lot together.
I think the most unique thing about Allie and Mike is just how well their relationship works together. When I think of Allie and Mike, I definitely think of one person, like them combined. They each have their own like personalities and things that they like, but it just works so good together, and I don't think I've ever seen a relationship work like I see theirs work, and it's so beautiful.
I really look up to Allie and Mike for always being so genuine and supportive. They bring so much positivity and fun to events, gatherings, and just to hang out. It's amazing how they can make any moment more enjoyable and memorable. I genuinely love being around them and hanging out. I hope they have the best life together ever.
Okay, Allie, it's your turn. Allie, we met you on Christmas Eve, I think about 3 years ago, maybe 4. And you walked into that as an angel. You fit right in. You helped out. You have a sweet personality, big smiles. You called me Grammy, which I loved on that first night. You're just easy to be around.
My favorite thing about Mike and Allie, and also probably one of the more unique things about them as well, is how they live their life in only ways that serve them and make them happiest. And it's so cool and inspirational to see it as a little sister watching my brother choose to build his life in the way that serves him and makes him and his partner the most happiest, as they navigate adopting more pets and building a house and renovating their house and doing all the DIY projects and planning a wedding. They always do it in the way that makes them happiest and makes their house feel most like them, and also makes them feel the most celebrated and the most loved. And I think that is so fun and cool to watch as a little sister, and I can't wait to see where life takes you after this big milestone. And I'm so proud of you guys, and I love you so much.
My favorite thing about Michael is that he keeps me politically informed.
Hey, happy wedding day. I am going to do my best to get through this without tears. You know how that goes. First, advice. That would be silly of me to give you marriage advice, I think, for obvious reasons. I'm not married.
Don't let the bride babysit your kids. You let them play on the roof.
My advice for you both is to love each other without any conditions. Unconditional love is the biggest blessing that you could possibly give to each other.
Just keep doing what you're doing, because I think you're both amazing. All right, I love you, and I'm super excited for your future.
Mike should probably just do whatever Allie says. You know, just like make it easy for everyone. Come on.
Love each other forever. Patience, I don't know.
Communicate and love one another with all your heart.
My advice to the couple to have a successful marriage is to never stop loving each other like you do now. Your relationship is beautiful, and I look up to you guys so much.
Try to put yourself in each other's shoes when things aren't going well. Try to be understanding of where the other person is coming from and what they might be feeling or why they feel the way that they feel. What do you think would be important about a marriage?
That they actually love you.
Make sure they actually love you. How would you make sure? Another piece of advice would be to do kind things for each other just because those are the things that will warm each other's heart when you realize that the other person did something just because they love you.
Having a happy marriage takes work and effort. Factors such as kindness, communication, trust, taking responsibility, forgiveness, conversation, appreciation, and gratitude are all important factors in making up a good marriage. However, we feel that there are two most important qualities that make up a happy and successful marriage are compromise and respect.
I really hope Allie and Mike continue to have a great time together and support each other no matter what. I also hope they make tons of unforgettable memories together. I wish them all the happiness and love in the world, and I hope they have a future full of laughter, fun, adventures, and endless support for each other.
But one of our favorite things to do is date night. Try for twice a month and take turns. Date night gives you a chance to be together and spend time doing something fun and interesting and sharing experiences. The only rule is no complaining about the event that was selected. A good attitude is required. And what I mean by that is we've done some off-the-wall date night things. Bingo at the Legion, estate sales, going to a marching band, and facials and pedicures and manicures. It's date night, no complaining. Massages, and all kinds of different sporting events. Date night's important. Date night's a lot of fun. A happy marriage takes work and effort, but be happy and laugh and have fun.
I love you guys, and I hope you have a super awesome wedding day.
I love you. You're amazing. I'm really proud of both of you.
You guys have a happy, prosperous, healthy future together. We love you.
We love you. We'll bring you breakfast for Sunday morning.
I'm just so excited to be married to Mike and keep doing life with my best friend. Well, it was like a movie. Absolutely not.
Cock and a top hat? Fucking buck.
Say that already. Did I say that already?
If you did, you just said it again.
My grandmother is gonna say, my grandmother, it's like she's in trouble.
I married a boy toy.
This isn't even a funny story. This is a sad story.
You're a happening guy.
And so whenever I hear that tape measure, I'm just like kind of hiding into the couch a little bit more. I just don't.
Wow, I hope this makes me feel less anxious.